who was creeping up and had the hit in the backfield. 2nd and 9 from inside the 10.
Welcome to Channel 99 Sports with Daniel Werkeiser and Jason Rosario.
Welcome to Channel 99 Sports. I'm Daniel Werkeiser. Welcome to our NFL edition. We are missing Jason today. I'm sure you wouldn't miss this for the world, though. The Browns hosted the Jets Thursday. The Browns were doing what they do best. They were terrible. Going into halftime, they were down 14-3. On top of that, Tyrod Taylor went down, but a number 1 pick known as Baker Mayfield picked up under center for the Browns. He brought the Browns to a comeback win over the Jets, 21-17. Many believe the Mayfield era has come to Cleveland and isn't slowing down. Not only was it a time for Mayfield to shine, he shined over number 3rd overall pick Sam Darnold, who did not fare too well against the Browns, throwing for under 200 yards on 31 attempts with 2 interceptions. Again, the score was 21-17, Cleveland Browns on top. The ultimate underdog story happened Sunday afternoon when the Buffalo Bills went on to take the cold, ruthless Minnesota Vikings at home. The Bills went into the game 0-2. Meanwhile, the Vikings went in without a loss with a 1 win, no losses, and a tie record. The Vikings underestimated the Bills in this matchup. The Bills did not have LaShawn Shady McCoy due to a rib injury on Sunday. This gave Chris Ivory the reins, but he was not the Buffalo's star rusher. Rookie quarterback Josh Allen scored 2 touchdowns through his legs, 1 through his arm. The Bills won the game by halftime, where they did not score in the latter half. Meanwhile, the Vikings scored 6 points in the 4th quarter, but did not change the outcome. The Bills win 27-6. The New York Giants finally got into a groove on Sunday against the Texans. The Giants' stars were all over the field. Giants rookie running back Saquon Barkley ran for 82 yards and a touchdown on 17 attempts. Also, Odell Beckham Jr. had 109 yards on 9 catches. He still is looking for that first touchdown, though. It looks like when the Giants' offensive line works, they could be scary. It was a closely contested game with the Giants coming out on top for their first win. They advanced their record to 1-2. Meanwhile, the Texans are still searching for that first win with an 0-3 record. The Packers visited the Redskins on Sunday for a matchup that almost felt as if it was 2012 again. Clay Matthews on defense, while Adrian Peterson was in the Redskins' backfield. They used to be divisional rivals, as Peterson used to be a Minnesota Viking. Peterson was paying no mind to Father Time as he led the Redskins to win the game 31-17. He sported a cool 6.3 yards per carry. He gained 120 yards and 2 touchdowns on his 19 carries. Meanwhile, this game might be used in some rule reviewing next offseason, as it appeared Clay Matthews had a clean sack on Redskins quarterback Alex Smith. On Monday, many defensive players had complained about a rule that takes out a lot of the physical elements from the game. Jimmy Garoppolo and Patrick Mahomes faced off for the first time on Sunday. Jimmy Garoppolo did well with 250 yards and 2 touchdowns, but Mahomes did even better with 314 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. The Chiefs are steamrolling teams and show no signs of slowing down as they improve their record to a perfect 3-0. They beat the 49ers 38-27. The 49ers record comes to 1-2, and it isn't the most upsetting thing that happened to the 49ers on Sunday. Jimmy Garoppolo went down. He sustained a season-ending ACL tear. Good luck, Niners fans. You know, Kaepernick is still out there, though. The Raiders went down to Florida to face the Dolphins on Sunday. Jordy Nelson finally got going for the Raiders, as he had 173 yards and a touchdown and only 6 receptions. It was not enough, as Dolphins quarterback Ryan Tannehill had a perfect day. With 289 yards and 3 touchdowns, he completed 17 passes out of 23 attempts. The Dolphins went on to win 28-20. They improved their record to a perfect 3-0, while John Gruden's Raiders are 0-3. They had high expectations coming into the season. So far, they are disappointing fans. The Colts took on the reigning Super Bowl champs on Sunday. The Eagles finally had their star quarterback Carson Wentz back. He did well as he threw for 255 yards and a touchdown and an interception. It was enough for the Eagles to pull out the win 20-16. They increased the record to 2-1. Meanwhile, the Colts sank down to 1-2. The Jaguars and Titans could not figure out each other on Sunday. There was no touchdown scored at all. Fournette was still on the bench from an injury, but should get the good to go this upcoming week or the following week. The Titans won 9-6. They both represent a 2-1 record. The Bengals visited the Carolina Panthers on Sunday. Christian McCaffrey ran all over the Bengals defense. He gained 184 yards on 28 attempts. Also, Andy Dalton's 4 interceptions did not help the Bengals' cause as they lost 21-31. Both teams now sport a 2-1 record. The Broncos faced the Ravens on Sunday, and they started out hot with 2 touchdowns, but those were their only touchdowns. The Ravens played the entire game and won 27-14. The Saints faced off for the first time this year against the Atlanta Falcons. It was a real nail-biter. They came out flying into the game that went into overtime. The game was a show of Drew Brees and Matt Ryan's arms. Brees threw for 396 yards and 3 touchdowns. Meanwhile, Ryan threw 374 yards and 5 touchdowns. Brees not only got it going through his arm, he got it going through his legs. He ran for 2 touchdowns, also a very clutch touchdown by the end of the game, which he spun out of the way and scored the last-minute touchdown to bring it into overtime. Overtime has not been kind to the Falcons in recent years. Most memorable loss to the Patriots in the Super Bowl a couple years ago. They repeated history again and lost 37-43 in overtime. Drew Brees pulled off the comeback and became the NFL's leader in completed passes and is still going. The Battle of Los Angeles took place Sunday. The star-studded Rams came out taking names and did not slow down. They won 35-23. Meanwhile, the Rams' top 2 cornerbacks, Aqib Talib and Marcus Peters, are expected to be out for weeks. Many will pay attention to how the Rams' secondary react to offenses in the coming weeks, as they are Super Bowl favorites. The monsters of the Midway seem to be reawakening, with Khalil Mack terrorizing quarterbacks. So far, Mack has 4 sacks on the year and also has 3 forced fumbles, 1 per game. With the Cardinals' offense stumped, the Bears won 16-14. The Bears improved their record to a cool 2-1. Meanwhile, the Cardinals cannot find any hope as they are down 0-3 for the year. The Cowboys visited the 12th man Seattle on Sunday. Everyone on the Cowboys' offense was stagnant, except for running back Ezekiel Elliott, who ran for 127 yards on 16 carries. Meanwhile, the Seahawks came out on all cylinders and blew the Cowboys out of the water, winning 24-13. The Patriots faced off against the Lions Sunday. The Lions acquired Patriots defensive coordinator Matt Patricia last offseason and appointed him to be head coach. So it was a reunion for Patriots fans. The Patriots did not have enough to get the job, though. They lost 10-26. The Lions were all over the field, with Stafford throwing for over 250 yards. And rookie running back Kerryon Johnson ran for 101 yards on 16 attempts. Both teams now sport a 1-2 record. The Steelers and Buccaneers faced off Monday night. Big Ben had over 350 passing yards, with 2 receivers gaining over 100 yards each. Also, Ryan Fitzpatrick had another game throwing over 400 yards, even though he also threw 3 picks, which helped the Steelers secure the 30-27 win. Also, the Steelers have announced that they are open to trade talks for an unhappy Le'Veon Bell. All right, so for this week, I have my picks. Vikings are at the Rams. I'm going to choose the Rams for this one. The Rams have been looking really nice, and plus the Vikings just lost last week to the Bills. Jets are at the Jaguars. The Jaguars have looked stunning, and especially if Fournette comes back, they should blow them right out the water. Dolphins are at the Patriots. I'm saying that the Patriots upset their divisional rivals. The Dolphins are 3-0 so far. Meanwhile, the Patriots are only 1-2. But I believe the Patriots and Tom Brady could go over the top. Eagles are at the Titans. The Titans could only score field goals last week, so I'm expecting a good victory from the Eagles. Texans are at the Colts. I'm going to pick the Texans over the Colts just because of their offensive weapons. And you got J.J. Watt on defense, should really terrorize Andrew Luck. Bills are at the Packers. Bills pulled off the upset last week, so I think they could do it again against the Packers. So that's a big one. Lions are at the Cowboys. I'm going to pick the Lions over the Cowboys just because Matthew Stafford has been looking phenomenal. Buccaneers are at the Bears. Meanwhile, I really like Khalil Mack and the Bears defense. I'm going to have to put Fitzmagic over them and go with the Buccaneers all day. Mike Evans, Howard, Deshaun Jackson, they're going to be lighting it up. The Bengals are at the Falcons, and honestly, the Falcons have some tuning to do, but I think they got it. They got in the bag. We're going to go with the Falcons. The Seahawks then are at the Cardinals. The Cardinals, I don't think, have a win yet this season, but we're looking for upsets. So we're going to go with the Cardinals with David Johnson. He just got a new contract. He's going to run it up. We got the Browns at the Raiders, and the Raiders have been looking terrible under Josh Gruden. A lot of people are giving them a lot of criticism for the Khalil Mack trade, which is completely understandable because they're doing terrible. But the Browns, I think, are going to do well against them. Again, with Baker Mayfield looking phenomenal. The Saints are at the Giants next week. I'm going to get the Saints to go over the Giants just because they have a decent defense and Drew Brees could light up the score when he needs to. 49ers are at the Chargers, and without Jimmy Garoppolo under center, there's just is not too much hope for the 49ers, so we're going to go with the Chargers this week. Ravens are at the Steelers next week. We're going to go with the Steelers just because they've been getting beat up all season, and they're coming out angry, so we're going to go with them. Then to next Monday night, the Chiefs are at the Broncos, and the Chiefs have been a highlight reel with Patrick Mahomes. We expected to keep going. And that is going to be all for me. Thank you for watching and tuning in. Come in next Tuesday for the next NFL recap. I'm Daniel Werkeiser.